This is the CHRILLCAST. I'm Chris.
And I'm Will.
And today is what? What day?
It's Manic Monday.
I think Will's starting to feel a little manic. This is like the second time we try to shoot this. Maybe the third time. I don't know.
Yes.
So let's see. So some quick topics before we get started. For one, Halo 2 Anniversary MCC is going to beta testing very soon.
Looking forward to it. More Halo's good on PC. Some people are upset about it because they screwed up the other ports. Moving on.
Well, every time they do an update to the MCC, something gets broken. So we'll see how it goes. E3 was canceled in the midst of everything going on in this particular time frame of this lovely world we live in. So, not really surprised. The question is whether it'll come back next year. Will, your prediction is no?
My prediction is no. Oh, at least not in the capacity that it is now.
Yeah, probably not. We'll see. Definitely sad to see E3 go. It's a really cool thing. But every company on the planet is basically putting out their own version of a Nintendo Direct. So there's not really a good point to doing E3 anymore other than the fanfare and the fun. But I guess it's a very stressful thing to do. So I understand. And it costs a lot of money. So
yes.
Back to the main topic. All right. Here, I'm just going to give you guys a basic summary of what these specs mean. All right. The Xbox Series X.
Beta. PS5 not good.
That's not. So I'm not going to fumble over all these specs, okay? What I'm going to tell you is this. Most of the specs on the Xbox Series X are better. There is one spec on the PS5 that makes a difference, and that's the I/O throughput, 5.5 gigabytes raw, or gigabits per second raw, with a typical of 8 to 9 gigabits per second compressed, versus the Xbox, which reads at a 2.4 gigabits per second raw, 4.8 gigabits per second compressed, with some kind of custom hardware decompression block. Don't know what that means. Doesn't matter. Based on that, what I'm seeing is the PS5 can run or load things at about twice as fast as the Xbox Series X, pulling straight data and I/O throughput. If that makes sense. So that could be a factor in how fast third-party games load on each of those consoles. You may see a quicker, like when they, in the inevitable release of Skyrim on the next generation of consoles, you may see the PS5 load it faster than the Xbox Series X.
Or it could just load instantly like it used to.
Anyways, they're going to put it on a brick next, Will. What's the biggest takeaway that you've gotten out of this discussion of the PS5 and the Xbox Series X? What's one thing that both consoles have coming forward?
All right, well, they both have backwards compatibility with the previous generation, which is pretty exciting. I was really hoping they were both going to do this. I think the rumors have been, generated around this for a long time now. However, what is the surprising thing about the PlayStation, Chris?
It will only take the last gen games and none of the previous gen. If anything, you'll see them come back to light on the PlayStation Store in the form of digital downloads. But you can also probably play PS3 games via the PS Now service, just like the PS4 did. The problem with the PS3 emulation is it's basically impossible to do on another console. High-end PCs, there's that RPCS5 thing that they've managed to play like Persona 5 on a PC. So is PS3 emulation doable? Yes, for some games. Probably not for all games, at least not yet. And that's from a highly motivated, dedicated fan base of the PS3 that wants to play their games on the PC. It's pretty neat, but the architecture of the PS3 is very difficult to emulate, and even Sony is at a very difficult time trying to do it. I'm assuming the biggest thing is wide compatibility of the games would be a difficult chore to take on for PS3 games to the PS5. PS4, on the other hand, uses basic PC architecture, just like the Xbox One did. Much easier to bring your games forward.
Yep. I'm still surprised by this because, I feel everyone was really excited for backwards compatibility with the Xbox, and they've been talking about this for so long. They wanted both consoles to do this. And there's also that rumor that PlayStation is going to be backwards compatible all the way to the PS1. So I'm honestly a little disappointed. This would have been the ultimate PlayStation. So
Well, I definitely can't throw out my backwards compatible PS3 at this point.
yeah,
But if I did go ahead and buy an Xbox Series X, I probably won't have to buy another Xbox anything.
yeah, exactly. And also the all your Xbox One accessories will also be backwards compatible, which is
Oh,
pretty sweet.
darn, I've sold all those.
Darn, I still have mine. But yeah, but the thing is, like we said, the previous times we tried to record this, yes, on paper it looks like besides one spec, the Xbox is better and more powerful. However, as it always does, it's going to come down to games. If
And the performance of said games.
and the performance of said games. So Xbox, obviously we talked about how Game Pass is going to give them the ability to have thousands of games at one time. Game Pass and also backwards compatibility will give them 1,000 games at launch. However, if they don't have new IPs, I don't know how far that'll carry them. PS5 or the PlayStation 4 killed it this generation with new IPs. So we'll see if they can continue that trend. And I mean, Nintendo's always has a less powerful console, and they're always kicking butt. So,
right. Like, speaking of which, our Wednesday episode will be very interesting this week.
We got something spicy for you guys.
Oh yeah, very special. Might have a featured guest with the name of Reggie.
I can't believe you got him on. Oh my gosh, it's so exciting.
It's gonna be like the greatest episode of the podcast ever. You'll just have to wait and see how it goes. Reggie. All right. Anyways, my body is ready.
Mine is too ready.
Barring a Nintendo Switch Pro release, I think these will be the hottest commodities when they release. 100%. The question is,
if they're not delayed,
which console will be the dominant console? Will there be a dominant console? Will we see both consoles propped up? Who knows?
Yeah.
Be really
Comes
interesting.
down to launch titles.
Yeah. Be really interesting if it literally split the video game fan base in half and there was no dominant
Also,
console.
price. I mean, if the PlayStation super undercuts the Xbox, which I don't see it happening, but if they do, then I mean that might give them a major hand up on Xbox.
I will say this: if there's $100 difference between the two consoles, it's pretty much been proven at this point that whatever console is the $100 cheaper will sell better out the gate.
Yeah. Yes.
If you look at the launch of the PlayStation 1, they undercut was it the Dreamcast or the Saturn? I can't remember which. But it was $100 cheaper. Sold like hotcakes, right?
Yep.
Then you get the PS2. I think it was like $300 out the gate. It was the cheapest DVD player on the market. Undercut. I don't know if undercut the other consoles coming out at the time, but I can tell you this: it definitely had the higher notoriety at that time because it was the cheapest DVD player on the scene, right? Yep. And then with the PS3, dear Lord, did Sony mess that one up?
Yes, they did.
Let's launch a $600 console. Let's launch a $600 console against the Xbox at $450, $500. This can't go wrong.
Yeah, exactly. And they released it like a year later too.
Yeah.
So they knew what the price was, and they still were like, "No, everyone will pay $600 for this."
Well, the best part was they were like, "Here, let's sell a $900 piece of hardware for $600. This can't go wrong."
No.
But they did that with the previous two generations. They underpriced it, undervalued the price to get it into people's living room, right? And then, yeah, it worked because they sold all the software. But if you don't sell software, or if you don't get enough hardware units in the home, you can't sell enough software to make up for that. But I can't imagine trying to recoup a $300 difference on a console. God, that just seems like a bad choice.
Yes, it was.
But yeah, here's where I'm at. All right, backwards compatibility is great as long as they don't cut out the ability to play DVDs from the console. Adam is speculating that they're going to remove DVD playback in the video he just put out. I'm like, if they I was thinking about this the whole time. Like, okay, I'm going to just replace the PS4 Pro with a PS5, straight replacement. However, if they remove DVD playback, I'm going to wait.
Yeah, I mean, what am I going to use as a DVD player then?
Exactly. That's where I'm at. Because like there are some kids videos that I have DVDs of. I'm like, oh great,
Yeah.
it works with
I
this
have a whole
console.
I have a whole stack of DVDs. You can see them over here.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
I think it would be a mistake because there's a lot of gamers that maintain having physical media like DVDs. Not everybody has just Blu-rays, so you got to maintain that definitely going into the next generation. And we know the Xbox Series X will, because in order to play Xbox games and Xbox 360 games, they have to have CD and DVD capability.
Yeah.
So we know that that is the case for the Xbox. I hope the PS5 does not cut that feature out. Shout out to Adam.
So
Your video
I'm
has really
assuming
influenced me
it's going to
today.
be sorry, I don't mean to go ahead and do your spiel.
I
Sorry.
was just saying, shout out to Adam for giving me all these talking points.
All right, so I'm assuming that it's going to be emulation on the Xbox. What are the chances that it's built in?
Well, it's going to be emulation at some point, but as far as the hardware goes, if you don't physically have a CD DVD drive, you can't read the DVD CDs to figure out what content is on there to get the.
I just meant like, you know how like the 360. No, I guess that's also emulation. So the original PS3 essentially had the PS2 in it.
Yes.
Do you think that the Xbox will have something like that, or is it all emulation?
I think that the architecture is close enough that they can just literally put a disc in and it'll work just fine.
So you don't have to download the actual game like on the Xbox One?
No, you'll still have to do that.
Okay.
Probably. Only because when they run these emulation, or not emulation. I just said there's no emulation. When they run the software, most of it comes from an installed file on the console. And you would want that. No disk reader can run as fast as these SSDs are going to be able to read that game. And plus, cutting down on the actual drive time, the time that the drive is spinning, reading the disk, will make it last longer.
Yep.
You would never want, on a modern console, these drives spinning continuously.
Okay.
That's my opinion anyway. It's good, just not good for the hardware long term to have it consistently spin every time. That's why the PS3s still break. That's why the 360s are always getting older and louder.
Yes.
The only console I can honestly say I've never noticed any like slowdowns on is the GameCube. That console is a tank.
It really is. It's that cube form, man. It was perfectly designed.
That's how you get.
And the little like handle on the back.
Yep,
Extra.
perfect. That's how you get an Xbox Series X. Stack two GameCubes on top of each other. Paint the top green.
Oh,
Good to go.
we forgot the best feature of the Xbox Series X is that it holds one beer.
And it warms it up for you.
Yeah. Perfect.
German beer perfection. Anyways, as always, I'm Chris.
And I'm Will.
And we will see you
On next CHRILLCAST.